नमस्कार दोस्तों, स्वागत है आपका के न्यूज़ 24/7 में। तो चलिए देखते हैं आज की हेडलाइंस। क्रिस मैंशन, द घोस्ट ऑफ बोरिस जॉनसन haunts Rishi Sunak. In his 7 months as Prime Minister, the most notable characteristic Rishi Sunak has brought to government is, relatively speaking, at least stability. But 2022, or much of it, was defined politically by a soap opera of conservative squabbling. It didn't disappear with the arrival of Mr. Sunak in number 10, but it quinted down substantially. Downing Street was an observer of events on Friday. It only found out about Boris Johnson's resignation as an MP when the rest of us did. A former Prime Minister in Boris Johnson with a lifelong knack of throwing stones and grabbing attention doing just that. A current Prime Minister is Rishi Sunak in the opinion polls and now confronting two appointments with a disgruntled electorate courtesy of two people mean to be on his own side. And so yet again the party of government winding and wounding itself in public. I am going to sound very 2022 now by inviting you in my notebook and my WhatsApp so you can hear as I will doing a sense of what conservative MP are saying. Boris Johnson provokes adulation and irritation, or to put it more bluntly, love and hate. Some within the party tell me he is the best Tory Prime Minister they have had seen Margaret Thatcher. Others as a man who should never have been allowed in with a mile of Downing Street. And parallels are being drawn with former US President Donald Trump. Two huge characters with vast charisma and even greater capacity of controversy, shaking up their parties never far from the headlines, always leaving people guessing about what they will do next. 4 states, 40 Lok Sabha, 160 Assembly seat. Why BJP could not ignore the JAT factor? When the protests first began against Wrestling Federation of India, President and BJP MP Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh over alleged harassment charges, it was seen as an issue confined to wrestlers from Haryana, most of them belonging to the state-dominant Jat community. The ruling BJP, though, was not worried, having built a non-Jat constituency for itself in the state, which will go to polls next year. Things have changed since, with details of the damaging allegations by the wrestler against Brij Bhushan mounting pressure on the BJP government at the state and center to act, and agitation finding resonance in Jat-dominated areas in the western Uttar Pradesh and poll-bound Rajasthan. State-run SCCL eyes 16% annual growth in coal production till FY26. South Eastern Coalfields Limited has projected a compound annual growth rate of nearly 16% during FY23 to FY26. In the last financial year, the Coal Indian subsidiary produced 160 million tonne and expects to produce 200 million tonne the fiscal FY24. By FY26, the company is projected to reach 260 million tonne. A company presentation showed that during the 2016 or 2022, its production growth rate was 2.77% CAGR, with a year-on-year growth of 17% to 167.01 million tonne. Coal production filed 2023 recorded the highest ever coal production since inception, it showed. The Miniratna company also registered its higher ever offtake of the mineral at 160.05 million tonne in the last fiscal, and the dispatch to the power sector also touched a record high for the company at 139.92 milliton. The growth in supplies to the power sector gained significance as the power demanded has been touching a record high level in past couple of years. Its capital expenditure in FY 2023 was 48,052.61 crore compared to 1,903.50 crore in the previous fiscal. After Bihar bridge fall, NHAI ordered inspection of 6 other projects by same company in the state. The National Highways Authority of India (NHAI) has ordered a throughout inspection of 6 bridges and flyovers that have been either built or under construction by the SP Singla Construction. The move comes barely days after the under construction 4-lane Agwani Sultanganj bridge over the Ganga collapsed. A top NHAI official said the inspection by the expert team constituted for each project will be completed in a week. Since the under construction bridge collapse in Bihar has shaken everyone, we have decided to carry out inspection of bridge and elevator stretch completed by the company on our stretches and also the ones that are under construction. Necessary steps will be taken after getting the reports headed. The list of projects that will be inspected by the structural expert includes the 1.86 km long extra dose bridge across the Ganga connecting Onta and Simaria on NH 31 in Bihar. The physical progress of the 6-lane bridge is around 50%, sources said. Similarly, the expert will inspect the completed road approaches to rail Kamroj Bridge across River Ganga at Mungar Ghat near Mungar in Bihar. This is a 14.8 km long project. In case of wind, there will be power cuts. Odisha Energy Minister. There will no power supply disruption in the state of Odisha, said the Odisha Energy Minister Pratap Dev on Saturday. He, however, further added that there are no power cuts in the entire state of Odisha. The minister, however, further added that in case of wind, the power supply shall be cut off. It is worth mentioning that the Kala Baishakhi experienced in Bhubaneswar on June 8, 2023 has left a trail of devastation. Most of the Bhubaneswar was thrown into darkness till late at night. Earlier on June 9, 2023, Odisha Chief Secretary Pradeep Jena expressed his annoyance over the slow restoration of power supply in Bhubaneswar city after the Kala Baishakhi havoc. BJP National President JP Nadda offers prayers at Tirupati Balaji Temple. BJP National President JP Nadda on June 10 offered prayers at the temple of Lord Venkateshwara. Speaking to media, he said that he was privileged to be at scared shrine which he said of late has emerged as a universal spiritual center. Nadda, who declined to make any political comments, said that he had prayed for universal welfare and prosperity of the country. He further pledged that with the divine blessings of the deity, he and his party would rededicate themselves in transforming the country into a developed nation. Later, after a brief stay at the guest house where he was housed the previous night, he motored down to Tirupati to participate in a locally arranged program. BJP State President Somu Virajraju, N. Kiran, Kumar Reddy, Sunil Deodhar, Sujana Chaudhary, CM Ramesh GVL, Narasimha Rao, Bhanuprakash Reddy and Vishnu Vardhan Reddy were prominent among others who had accompanied him in the darshan. 141 cases settled in National Lok Adalat held in Salem. A total of 141 cases were settled in the National Lok Adalat held here on Saturday. S. Sumati, Principal District Judge, launched the Adalat at the Salem District Court. Similarly, Adalats were held at Sankagiri, Atur, Meter and Omalur Taluk courts. As many had 383 cases, including civil land disputes and matrimonial dispute cases, were taken up. Settlements to the tune of Rs 8.24 crore were disbursed. A sum of 29.25 lakh was awarded as the compensation to Special Sub-Inspector SSI Venkatachalam 56, who lost his leg in a road accident. Similarly, 12 lakh compensation was awarded to the family member of a lorry driver, Arunchalam, 32 years, who died in an accident in 2021. Emirates staff expelled from UAE Unemployment Insurance Scheme. The UAE Unemployment Insurance Scheme is not mandatory for Emirates airline employees, staff were told this week. DN Tata employees can also choose whether to sign up to the scheme. In an email seen by the National Emirates and DN Tata, staff were told on Friday that those with permanent contracts were not obliged to join the scheme. However, they can opt if they want to. The Social Security program called the Involuntary Loss of Employment Insurance Scheme came into effect on January 1, 2023 and applies to all Emirati and foreign employees in the public and private sector. It is now mandatory that employees working in free zone register for unemployment insurance program. First announced in May, the scheme is a financial safety net that will pay Emirates and residents a cash sum of 3 months if they lose their jobs. To receive the unemployment financial support, employees must register and pay an insurance premium based on their monthly salary. National Exit Next exam for medical graduates likely from 2024. The National Exit NEXT examination, a common qualifying criterion for final year undergraduate medical student, the measure for merit-based allocation of postgraduate seats and the screening mechanism for foreign medical graduates wanting to practice in India will be introduced next year according to a senior government functionary. Odisha CM Navin Patnaik drops Higher Education Minister Rohit Pujari from ministry. Odisha Chief Minister Navin Patnaik on June 9 dropped Higher Education Minister Rohit Pujari from the Council of Ministers, sources in the Chief Minister's office said. Sources added that Mr. Patnaik recommended Governor Ganesh Lal to exclude Mr. Pujari's name from the ministry and assign the department to Food and Supplies Minister Atano S. Nayak. Mr. Pujari was not immediately available for comment. A lawmaker from Rairakoi Assembly segment, Mr. Pujari was inducted in the ministry of June last year. Sources said Mr. Patnaik reviewed the performances of all the departments from May 2022 to June 2. In the review, it was found that the performance of Higher Education Department was at the bottom of the list. Panic after fire on express train in Odisha. Problem fixed in under an hour. A fire was spotted at air conditioner coach of Durg Puri Express on Thursday in Odisha, Nuapada district, leaving passengers scared, the East Coast Railway said. No casualties were reported from the incident. The East Coast Railway in a statement said smoke was detected in the B3 coach of the train as it reached the Career Road station this evening. The brake pads caught fire due to friction and incomplete release of brakes. The fire was confined to brake pads. There was no damage, the railway said. Problem was rectified in less than an hour and the train departed the station at 11 pm, it said. Mercury soars past 40 degrees Celsius at 3 places in Odisha by 11:30 am. High humidity in coastal areas. With heat waves sweeping some parts of Odisha, the mercury soared past 40 degrees Celsius at 3 places in Odisha by 11:30 am on Saturday, with Sambalpur being the hottest at 42.2 degrees Celsius, followed by Jharsuguda at 41.6 degrees Celsius, Hirakud at 41 degrees Celsius. Bhubaneswar recorded 37.2 degrees Celsius, the Indian Meteorological Department tweeted. Coastal areas also recorded high humidity levels: Puri 80%, Gopalpur 72%, Paradip 70%, Chandbali 66%, and Bhubaneswar 64% before noon. Sambalpur, Jharsuguda and Hirakud had recorded 36 degrees Celsius, 35.4 degrees Celsius and 35.2 degrees Celsius respectively by 8:30 am. The day temperature is likely to touch 45 degrees Celsius in Sambalpur and 44 degrees Celsius each in Jharsuguda, Bodh and Sundargarh and Sonpur by the end of the day, an IMD forecast said. ऐसे ही और न्यूज़ को जानने के लिए जुड़े रहिए के न्यूज़ 24/7 के साथ.